Guys, welcome back to Vinceville Custom. So today we're going to just do a sort of a fast video. It's not really an in-depth video. I'm planning on doing a better one down the line when I'm working on a personal custom when I get to it. But for right now, a viewer of the channel sent me a couple emails doing some personal customs that they're diving into the hobby and stuff. And they wanted to know how I kind of do wrinkles on the boots or wrinkles in general. So this is directed more toward them, but at least maybe, everybody else can get an idea of what I do. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this statue. This is an old custom that I used, just I never finished back up in a day, so I just use it as a test item. You can see all this paint. So it'll be kind of good to use this. So what you do is you mix up some fresh Aves. It's always better to have the fresh Aves when you do wrinkles. Right now what I have here is just a small paintbrush. This is kind of like a number, let's see, it's like a 10/0, so it's fairly small. I use this one a lot, so it's kind of like worn down. Then I have another paintbrush here, which is kind of bigger. And then I have this one over here, which is a little bit smaller. So whatever works for you. Now these paintbrushes, I get these at the art store. I think it's Jerry's Art up North Jersey. Basically, what they do is they have back to school sales, or end of the school year sales and stuff. So you get these like 70-60% off. So I usually stock up on them because I go through paintbrushes like crazy. It's kind of my tools for sculpting. So what we're going to do is right now we're going to do two things. One, we'll just do like if the boots had wrinkles on the back. Now I'm going to sculpt a little bit bigger just to give you guys an idea on how it's done. But so you see how there's a little bit of wrinkles on the back of that boots right there. We're going to just sculpt a little bit bigger just to give you an idea. So usually what I do is just take some Aves and put it on the back of the boots like so. Now it's a way more than what I need. Way more. So what I like to do is I use my safety solvent because I always use Aves safety solvent. Using water with Aves is a bad idea. What happens is Aves soaks up the water and then you get cracking and it doesn't adhere. It absorbs the water. Had a long talk with the owner from Aves back in the day, and what they said is you can put like you could drop this Aves in the safety solvent. Basically, you just drop it right in here into the safety solvent, and basically the Aves will still cure, but it won't really absorb the safety solvent. But if you drop it in water, the next day, which happens is you'll take the Aves and it just crack and brittle apart. I've done a mistake back in the day where I sculpted an item with water, and the next day it literally just deteriorated off the statue. So it's best to invest in the safety solvent. So what it is, I dip my finger in the safety solvent. If you're worried about the chemicals, you can use rubber gloves or the paintbrush. So what I do is I just kind of put the Aves around the back of the boots like so. So what I try to do is I try to blend it up. Just going up and just keep blending it like so. But I'm keeping it thick. Alright, so just keep going, just kind of blend it into the boot, back in the heel. And I just let the thickness on the sides go. You just kind of want to get that arch going on the boots, and it starts to form the boot a little bit thicker. I mean, you could Dremel it out if you want to, and then what you do is if you have an X-Acto knife, I get X-Acto knives off eBay. You could buy a box of them for $100 for like $15, and then just cut off the edge there, and then cut off the edge here. And then what you do is you can kind of blend this down more. You got to think of the two of the ankles, depending on what kind of boot you're using. And then you could kind of go this way. Okay, so that's pretty much where so you got your start. So you got to think of wrinkles, how wrinkles are going to be used. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. I'm doing this on the side, so let's see. Alright, so are we in a good angle here? Alright, so boots really, so you can take the edge of your paintbrush and you can kind of come down. Then you can come over here with this one. Come down. Now you just kind of work the first wrinkle area, and then you can. So what you could do is you could do a couple things. One, if the wrinkle is coming down, you could kind of split it this way, and you can put a wrinkle here. You can just have fun with it. I'm trying to do this in the camera while showing you guys, so. And I like to use the safety solvent because it just softens it up. And then what you do is use your bigger brush, sort of blend it out. Now you could go on the back of it, like so. And then you don't have to actually bring all the wrinkles matching together. You can kind of put them in different ways. And you can just use whatever paintbrush you got. A good thing to do too is get references online. You know, look up boots, women boots, work boots, any kind of boots that are kind of like designer boots, and you can maybe get some good wrinkles. Now, if you start getting too much, if you start making too much of a sculpt, don't be afraid to kind of scrape out. Let's see, hopefully we're getting in there. Bigger, softer brushes like this one actually help out a lot more too. So let's see if we're in the camera right. And you can kind of just let the brush pull the Aves and get your wrinkles going. Like I said, it's good to study wrinkles on different areas. Like if a female's wearing a latex outfit, you can see how wrinkles work on the butt, the crotch area, stuff like that. On the boots, the arms, when the arms are bent. So these are kind of like baggy in the back because, like I said, we're working larger. Now when I work too, I just keep working it. You know, you never really get it on the first pass. You gotta just keep playing with it. Don't be afraid to use the tool, the paintbrush, even the little metal that's on the edge of it. So we're kind of starting to create these wrinkles, as you could kind of see. Just kind of getting it around the area. But like I said, these already have wrinkles on these boots, so I'm just working bigger. But this just gives you an idea. You can just keep playing with it. If you want deeper wrinkles, you want smaller ones. Now if you want to go and show the heel more, right? You want to, like they got a big heel, you could come underneath of it and bring out the heel a little bit more, like so. Don't be afraid to pull off the Aves. Just get under there like so. Don't use alcohol either. Like I said, safety solvent's your best bet. It's made for Aves. It's made for doing stuff like this. It softens it up, it cleans your tools, and it doesn't destroy the Aves at all. So you just start, you just start getting wrinkles. Just start getting a little stuff around there. Now, if you want to have fun with it, so we have the wrinkles going in this direction, so like so, right? So what you could do is you bring a wrinkle into the wrinkles like this. So you kind of bring this one there. And there. So you kind of start creating more wrinkles and making it baggier. Hopefully that's showing you a little bit more. So you kind of break up the wrinkles and just have fun with it. So you start creating all that little wrinkling and stuff. Now it's still messy now. I mean, you gotta kind of play with it, but it's kind of making it a little bit baggier back there, as you can kind of see. And then if you want, grab this brush, tone it down a little bit. And then you get sort of wrinkles, just kind of building it up a little bit, you know, in the back, like so. Hopefully you can see back there. So like I said, that's thick, but it just gives you an idea. You don't have to use as much as I did, especially if there's no wrinkles there already. Now, if you want to give them really big boots, if you really want to make them like, I guess you could think like certain outfits that have these really big ones. So say the ankle is tight, but the upper part of the boot is thicker. So what we will do is we'll try and make really thick wrinkles. Just mess around with this. Still never perfect when I do this stuff. I'm always studying pictures, always looking online, always have a reference in front of me too when I'm sculpting, especially in the fast videos. So, alright, so say we got nice baggy boot, boots here. So what we're going to do is, hopefully we're in the right angle. What we'll do is we'll use a bigger one. So something like this, what I would do is kind of just start throwing wrinkles around like so. Then you get your next brush. You could kind of start you just gotta kind of play with it. So it's kind of like you're creating a wrinkle going around in a way. So you're starting to create like some kind of like a, like some kind of stylish boot that's kind of wrinkled there. Now this is just on the thicker end. But just don't, it's kind of like just throwing your brush in there. And kind of play with it. Keep working it. For some reason you don't like where you're going with it. Kind of so it's always better to have the basic structure first, like the calf muscle, the leg, the ankles. So these almost go into some kind of go-go boots almost, kind of keep building them up and just keep playing with it. Now these are really baggy boots. It just gives you an idea. Now the Aves is really soft, and as it hardens, it'll be a little bit easier to kind of clean up some of the areas. So you can start creating boot like that, you know, a little bit baggy. Start creating stuff like that. It takes a while. It's not exact science like trying to do it in a couple minutes. And this isn't something that I would create boots on anyway, but gives you guys an idea. So don't be afraid to take the brush and squeeze it. And for some reason, if you're not liking it, you could kind of start bringing it back. Maybe it's too thick. Use your fingers. Bring it down a little bit more. It's all about trying to adjust how much Aves you want on it. If you try to go into the back of her, so this is kind of like, so you can spend a long time doing this. It's not something that's going to get done right away. You just got to keep playing with it until the Aves is really curing up and you get it to where you want it. But just by keep bringing up the Aves, just kind of take it and just squeeze it back here, squeeze it there. And at the moment I'm not looking at any reference, but it's just kind of an idea in my head. So like I said, invest in safety solvent. If you can find yourself some brushes that are cheap, that you think you might like to work with. Alright, now if I feel like this boot is a little bit too much, just start bringing it up here more. And start hitting it again with the brush. Now, doing this on camera is very hard. Usually you have to be in the correct position and to do it, but I'm just trying to give a good idea to the viewer so you get an idea how to throw some wrinkles. And these are really baggy boots. Like I said, these can almost be like some kind of go-go boots, really, at the rate I'm going with it. So, as you can kind of see, the creating, let's see, hold on, let's pull this camera back a little bit. And it gives you a little idea of kind of where we're going with wrinkles. So it's not perfect, because like I said, I'm in the wrong angle trying to do this, but it just gives you guys an idea of where we're going with it. Now, if you feel that you want to take it up a little bit more, you could kind of bring this back, kind of make it look like it's coming down at an angle to the top of the boot. Some crazy superhero boots. All right, so at this point, I kind of getting it, kind of getting where we want to make wrinkles, but I think this part over here is just way too much. So what we do is we kind of just pull this back down. Like I said, I do this a lot when I sculpt, and I think maybe like here it's getting too thick. So just kind of pull that out. That's a good thing about Aves. You got a couple hours before it starts really hardening up on you, but at least you can start getting an idea of where we want to go with this wrinkles. Okay, so it might be a little bit better now. It's kind of more in line with the foot. So what we'll do is, so kind of hit this wrinkle like a little bit like that. Just gotta keep playing with it. So the idea is like the front of it, since it's kind of loose, we're having that little, see this little piece here in the front? It's kind of like zigzagging. It's kind of like what I'm trying to do. So it comes down the front. So you could go with a style like that almost. Then we could kind of bring these over here. This is why I do all the fast videos, because it's just, I'm here for hours and just non-stop time trying to get this going. If you just keep playing with it, you get something you might like. So you could do some kind of a boot system like that, where it's kind of really messy, but we could try to clean this up even more. So there's times I'll do this, where I got it to the point where I don't even like it. I don't like where it was going. There's times I'll actually get to the point where the Aves is getting so tough and I'm not liking what I'm doing, so I just take it off completely. The idea is you want to get it, so more or less the wrinkles will probably be in the back of her, if anything, the way this is positioned. So what we'll do is just keep going. I always like to try to get most of the leg, especially if it's a big boot, kind of like this. So you're almost rebuilding the leg, but it's a little bit thicker. So now it almost feels like a really big boot on her. So what we could really do is, now we can do subtle wrinkles on it. Just hit in different areas. Just make it a subtle one. So I hit a couple areas there, as you can see. And sorry for any reflection with the light, but... And then what you do is you hit it in opposite areas. So let's see if we can set this up here like so. Okay. So I hit it here. I hit it here. And then what we'll do is we'll go here. And we'll go here. So it's a thick boot. It's got some wrinkles, but it's not too crazy. So you hit it in different areas. So usually, you know, boots, when they're up top here by the calf muscle, they're usually pretty tight. They're not as wrinkly. So you don't have to go crazy up there. And then what you can do is hit it in these areas. So you kind of like zigzag them, you know? Just kind of hit them in different zigzagged areas. So we got one here, we got one here, and then we got two back there. So kind of hit it in the middle of those two. And this one kind of comes up a little bit more. So this is kind of more of a subtle wrinkle. And in the back over here, pull this, just go around like so, bring that up around there, a little bit more thicker wrinkles in the back. So start creating the boot, which is a little bit more. It's not as crazy wrinkle, like it's not really like a huge one. So you're just creating sort of a wrinkle going. Just gotta keep playing with it. So you're basically thickening up the leg that's there, and then you create the wrinkles around that thickness of the leg. It's pretty much all it really is. If there is already wrinkles there, like there was on these, what I would do is I probably would Dremel those off. And sorry this video is kind of going a little bit longer, but just gives you an idea of how far you can go with it and what you can do with it. So you have to test it, you have to practice, kind of see where you want to go with the boots. So you kind of give a little bit more wrinkles up here, just to make it all loose. Let's see if we can get it here. Now the Aves does get on the brush a lot. I use the safety solvent to take some of it out. Always clean your brushes at the end when you're done. Soap and water, safety solvent, get them cleaned up. Use them for the next one until they get really messed up. So, I mean, there'd be a lot more to go with that, but it gives you guys an idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the camera, and maybe we could get better lighting, and I can show you what's looking like, because there's probably like a little reflection now. Alright, so maybe you guys can see a little bit better now. Hopefully there's not as much reflection. So you can see how we're just creating wrinkles, like so. So this will be a loose, you know, you could bring it down more there, or maybe you want it higher there. You could kind of just toy with it. You know, if you want just simple wrinkles back here, it's just a matter of just throwing some Aves and creating wrinkles like that. You know, like I said, it's really thick back there, so you can actually thicken up the boots more. But it's just a matter of just having fun with it and just creating it. So yeah, so this is kind of like more of a go-go boots. I would definitely have, you know, gone up a little bit further. The other thing too is if you feel that by the next day it's not where you want it, you can add more, you can Dremel it out. Just trying to do this on an angle where you guys can see. You can kind of see how I'm just doing, like, it's like crossing. Of course, it's always harder to get in between something that's got legs already here, so can bring this in a little bit more. Now the brush is really dry at the moment, so it's really pulling the Aves. Really pulling it. That could be good or it could be bad. It all depends on what's easier for you. Probably by the next day, once this is hardened, I'll probably would hit it with some light sandpaper because there is some kind of messy Aves here and there. But that gives you just two different styles of boots. You know, you could kind of have fun with it. You could do it larger scale. Let's see. Also, a good example of what I was doing. I can pull off this statue here. So this is a, you know, it's like a Power Girl boots. So you can kind of see like the wrinkles on there. You know, you could pretty much see that there's a leg here. You know, and then there's wrinkles kind of brought up around it. So these boots are pretty heavy. So that's kind of like what I'm going with. So there's different styles, different ways to do it. Put this back here. Hold on. So, alright, so sorry for the video that dragged out, but like I said, I wanted to do this for a viewer so they can get an idea if they want to add some wrinkles. It's pretty much almost the same exact preference, you know, like I said, this is an old statue. So if you're going to add the wrinkles underneath here, it's a matter of just throwing some Aves in the paintbrush and just adding some wrinkles. If you want to put wrinkles in the arm, you just throw a little bit of Aves and you add the wrinkles underneath the arms here. You know, you can do whatever you want. You know, you could just add them. Same thing like back there. I didn't add these wrinkles. Or maybe I did. I don't remember if this was from the Catwoman. But, you know, you just throw some A's and you just kind of add wrinkles and go from there. So, hopefully this helped you out. Sorry for the delay. Long video, but it just gives you better an idea. And like I said, this is for a viewer, so hopefully it helps them out. And anyone else that's maybe doing some stuff. So, thanks for watching, and we'll be back with some more videos.